That ship better not take off without me. Where is he? Where are you at? There he is. Alright. Hey, wait, where are you going? Gosh, darn it. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're going to go over the proper way to drain and refill your transmission fluid from the transmission housing underneath the car. So if you haven't watched my latest video, I'll leave a link for it somewhere up here. But in that video, I did a rebuild kit on the shifter inside the car and installed a 5X Racing bronze shift bushing. I'll give a review on that later in the video. But first, we need to finish the job by going underneath the car and draining the transmission fluid from the housing and adding new fluid. If you live in a place where you have 4 seasons, be thankful, because here there's only 2. It's either ice and snow or just hot, you know, humid, muggy nastiness. It's about 96 degrees today, so it's a hot one, boys. So before we get started, I wanted to briefly talk about the tools that you'll need for this job to do it the proper way. There's a few different methods that you can use. This is the one that I found to work the best. So let me know what you think in the comments below if you have a better way or if you found better tools to do this job. So one thing you'll need is some sort of a bucket to catch the old fluid that you're going to drain out here in a minute. You're going to need some sort of a pump to pump the new fluid in, and as you can see, I'm using the Tears of Baby Unicorns, this Motorcraft full synthetic trans fluid. If you have a spout of some sort, you might be able to, if it's bendable, you might be able to put a spout on this to pour it in. But just because of how tight it is in there up against your exhaust, I found that the pump with the flexible tube is a little bit better. Now for the really important stuff. To drain the fluid out of the housing, you're going to need a 24 mil. It's a pretty big bolt, so you'll need to use a 24 to get that one off. And for the fill bolt is kind of a unique bolt. It's the only bolt of its kind on the entire car, and nobody's really found sockets that will fit it without stripping it. A lot of people use crescent wrenches, you know, but if you round off that bolt because it's stuck on there and you don't have the right tool, you're going to have a really bad day. So I found the right tool to use. This is a 9/16 and it's a 8-point socket. So you need to look online. I got this one on Amazon. I'll put a link below. And it's a 9/16 8-point socket. This will get the bolt off without any problem. No worries of rounding off that bolt at all. Okay, so now I'm underneath the car and I'm under the transmission. Let me see if I can get on my back here. Slide under. Okay, so this bottom bolt that's on the bottom of the transmission, this is your drain plug. This is that 24 mil that you're going to remove, and all the fluid's going to pour out of here. If you go over on the exhaust side and look up, let's see if I can work my way over here to right here. This is your fill plug. That's where you need that 9/16 8-point socket to take this guy off. So there's the drain, and there is the fill. So I think now would be the perfect time to kind of explain the method that I use for this. And it's very similar to the video I did where I drained and refilled the fluid in my differential. The most important thing to remember is to remove your fill plug first. Don't do the drain plug first. Always do the fill first. And the reason for that is if you open this one first and all the fluid comes out, and then you go to open this one and it's seized up and you can't get that bolt out, well, now you don't even have trans fluid in here to drive it to a mechanic or a shop that's got specialty tools that can get it off for you. You're stuck. So if you wait and do this one last, you'll always guarantee that you'll have a spot to fill fluid back into it. Just using a breaker bar to get this loose. If you have a socket that's a ratcheting socket that may be quicker here. I can't find my adapter though for my 1/2 inch. So I'm just going to use the breaker bar. And you don't need to torque these back down when you're putting them back in. They're just snug. So you can use your judgment on that. Okay. There we go. So this is your fill plug. Awesome. Okay. You just kind of crack it loose, and look how you can spin it with your finger now. These aren't on there tight. You just need to crack it loose, like I said. Everyone loves the smell of trans fluid. This drain bolt does have a magnet, and it's going to collect all the metal shavings. So you just want to make sure you wipe that clean before you reinstall it. Always thread it in with your fingers first so you don't cross thread anything. That would also be a bad day. And you just want to snug it up. You don't want it super tight. Okay, so the next step is to attach your pump to your fluid here. And you're going to just put the hose in that fill hole and just start pumping away until the fluid starts to drip out of the fill hole.
One week later.
Always buy a few of these, because once you run out, if it's still not full, you're going to need more fluid. So I've got more here with me. starting to leak out of the top. So when we take our fill hole, we thread it in by hand. That's it. And that is it. All we have to do now is lower the car and we're done. Just in time, because it looks like it's just starting to rain. So I've been driving around and just wanted to collect my thoughts on the brass bushing and also the transmission fluid that I've added. Just to give my honest opinions. Maybe this will help you guys out. Overall, I'm satisfied with both of the installs. The 5X Racing bushing is it's just a metal bushing that replaces the plastic bushing that's at the end of your shifter, and I've read some positive and negative reviews on these and just wanted to give you my thoughts. So far I've had a mostly positive experience with it. When I first installed it, I did have a little bit of resistance getting the gear into first and also reverse. It went into gear, it was just a little bit more difficult than the other gears. Now, I also read somewhere online that there is a break-in period for these bushings. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I read, and I think it may be true just because as time went on over the last few days of me driving this, I have noticed it is a lot easier going into gear now. Really not any issues at all going into any of the gears anymore. The way, it's hard to describe. So when I went into this, I didn't really know what to expect as far as how it felt. I just knew that it was a metal bushing, so I thought maybe it would be, you know, more of a metallic clink when you put it into gear or something. I didn't know what to expect, but it really wasn't what I expected. It really is just a more firm hold of the gear, I guess. When you put it in gear, there is really no play at all. When you try to wiggle it around, it's just in there firm. And when you push it into gears, it really feels like it's being held in really tight. That doesn't mean that it's hard to put it into gear. It goes into gear easily. It's just a real snug fit when it goes in. There is no doubt that it's in gear. And I guess a lot of people like that. So if that's something that you're looking for, then I recommend getting it. But if you want a more looser feel where it just kind of snaps in and whatever, maybe just the factory bushing is all you need. Is it worth the whatever the cost is? Mine came with the kit, so you save a little money there, but if you were to buy it outright on its own, I think it's like $20 or $30 American. You know, it's a thing, you know, it works. It's just not something that's just going to be game changer like everyone online says it is. I like it though. I'm satisfied with it and I'm glad I did it. But you know, as time goes on, I'll let you know if things change. But so far, I like it. Now, I've also been made aware that these 5X Racing bushings may not be available everywhere in the world, and if that's the case, there are other name brands that make a similar type of bushing. I know that Beat Rush makes one, and I want to say it's made out of aluminum. This one from 5X Racing it's either like a bronze or a brass, but it's a metallic bushing. Look online, look at auction places like eBay. I think Rev9 has the Beat Rush. Just look around, see what you can find. The Beat Rush one, I think they call it a shift collar. So just do your search for shift collar. I'll put some links below with what I find, if that helps you guys out. But overall, yeah, I'm really happy with that. In regards to the transmission fluid, it's good also. It's very subtle though. It just makes the shifting just a tiny bit smoother. Is it really worth going way out of your way to purchase this type of fluid? Maybe if you're, racing your car, if it's a track car, you may get some more performance out of it. But as a daily driver, is it better than, the other off-the-shelf or maybe even Redline fluids? I don't think it's better, that I can tell so far. But as a daily driver, I'm not really pushing it, as high as I can get it to go all the time. So, maybe I'm not seeing the benefits of it. I would say, if you have means to get this Motorcraft fluid, go ahead and try it out. It's not going to hurt anything. If it's really out of your way to go to a Ford dealer or to order some online, then go with the Redline or some other fluid that's local to you, because I think just the fact that it's new fluid is what makes it feel a little smoother with the shifting. So I don't know, it's up to you. It's personal preference. What everyone has their own, everyone has their own thoughts on what feels better to them. I barely felt any difference with mine though, so I don't know. I'm glad I did it though. The fluid was very dark and had some metallic flakes on the magnet of the drain plug, so I know it needed to be changed. So I'm gonna keep monitoring it, and if it gets smoother over time, I'll let you know. But one other thing to mention, if you are going to use the Motorcraft fluid, you'll need to buy 3 of those bottles, because I went through about 2.5 just for the housing below, and just a few ounces for the turret when I did the shifter bushing. So you'll need 3 for sure. So if you have any questions, I'm open to any questions you have. Just post them below in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. But hopefully this helped some of you out if you're thinking about swapping out the fluids or changing your bushings, or even just the the rubber shift boots that are torn underneath. I hope it helped somewhat, and like I said, any questions, give me a comment below and I'll try to get back to you. So if you like this video, let me know by hitting that like button. If you didn't like it, post a comment below so I know what's going on and how I can improve. But I do have more stuff coming real soon. I know I keep saying that. I just need to find the time to do it on my days off work and when it's not raining or going crazy with the weather. But I do have a lot coming, so it's really exciting stuff. So you want to make sure you subscribe so you'll get those notifications on when my videos come out. Take care, guys. Bye.